Is Rutgers a double-digit win team, and will they be in the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State? There's that and more. Let's get to it. Okay, so with national recruiting success comes more eyeballs on the Rutgers football program, both nationally and with the podcasting and analyst community. Several podcasts jumping on the Rutgers bandwagon, predicting Rutgers to be a double-digit win team, and one in particular has us in the Big Ten championship game against Ohio State, which just a few short years ago under Chris Ash would have seemed something that was not going to ever be possible. Nonetheless, let's go through it. One of the reasons why we've had some success, according to Mike Farrell Sports, who did a recent article on Rutgers transfer portal, and they made the argument, rightfully so, how our ability to build a program and go forward has to do with our player retention, ability to retain, not just get guys in the portal that fulfill needs, but be able to retain guys. And they talked about that thing that we always talk about, building culture. It's not just a buzzword. It's about how we have to go about our business in lieu of blue blood programs paying the bag, and that building a culture has paid off, according to this article. 23 entries into the transfer portal past couple of years. Some key losses this past year: Rene Conga and to Louisville, and Gavitt to Kentucky. Nonetheless, that ability to develop, retain, and have relationship with players is setting a foundation for us to be stable going forward, and to be able to add a recruiting class like we have this year, which is a top 5, top 10, whatever rating service you listen to, type of class. So Mike Farrell Sports, good job by them by focusing not on the recruiting class, but on transfer portal and our ability to retain players. Three things that a lot of media and podcasting community are talking about how and why Rutgers will win double-digit games, including one who has us in the Big Ten championship against Ohio State. Number one, what we just talked about, and that's roster continuity, retaining players, having some experience. Two, kind of underrated, staff continuity. I think that's really important when you want to develop the kind of program that Rutgers wants to develop based on relationships, culture, and not just handing out the bag. If you're a young guy, you're being recruited by a guy you have a good relationship with, but he's the kind of guy who doesn't let grass grow under his feet, or you're getting offers, or you feel he might not be there soon or long enough. Staff continuity is important. We have a really good, really experienced staff that's perfect for developing the type of guys that we want into the type of program that we want. So that's really important. The third thing that drives me nuts about why analysts think we can have double-digit wins is a weak schedule. Every time I see pull all this hair out. Yes, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State not on the schedule. All three were top 5, top 7, top 10 teams. But they play a type of ball, maybe Ohio State a little more explosive. Michigan, Penn State, Iowa, old school Big Ten offense. They want to run it, play defense, gritty, grind it out kind of football, which, by the way, is what we like to play. And in the second half against those teams, mid-third quarter, early fourth quarter, we were in several of those games against Michigan, Ohio State, Wisconsin, And critical turnovers at the quarterback position late kind of started the momentum going where teams were able to pull it out in the end and pull away and make the score seem worse than it actually was. I don't mind that so much. Yes, a little more, if those teams a little more physically gifted, a little more athletic, can make the plays in the end to win. These West Coast teams that play that Big 12 wide open kind of offense, just to play here, play there, miss tackle, and that explosiveness can put you in a hole, especially if you're a kind of team that wants to play a game tight to the vest, run the ball, play good defense. So the weak schedule thing kind of drives me nuts. USC, top 25 offense last year. Yes, they lose guys to the NFL, the #1 quarterback, yada, yada, yada. Their recruiting class from 2023 was ranked #1. This year, not as good. We're still ranked number 20 behind us, believe it or not. But their roster is still filled with talent. UCLA, you can consider them a poor man's USC. Top 35, 36 team, top 35 recruiting class. Chip Kelly moved on to Ohio State. But they still have enough talent and scheme-wise to give us a problem on offense. Washington, yes, lost a ton of guys to the NFL, lost their head coach. But they also have a lot of talent on their roster, so we can't just pencil these games in as wins because we're not playing Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State, and the kind of middling teams may be problematic as well. Nebraska kind of underperformed, surprisingly, under Matt Rule, but they like to play defense. They do a pretty good job at that. That's going to be better. They picked up top-ranked #1 quarterback. I don't know if it was 2023 or 24 class. Dylan Raiola transferred from Georgia. So that's going to give Nebraska a little more explosive offense. Their offense just was not great last year. So playing at Nebraska, which is a tough place to play with good fans, that's going to be a challenge. Wisconsin, we kind of maybe should have kind of won that game last year. But I have a feeling they're not going to struggle as much with their identity this year with Luke Fickell in year 2. That's another game. By the way, both these games can go either way. But if we pull these 2 games out, people are going to have to look at us at, okay, they're beating Nebraska, they're beating Wisconsin. This team is for real. Yes, they're not elite teams, but they're also teams on the upswing that have a history of winning and winning programs. And so when we talk about the schedule, okay, would it be nice if we can beat Michigan or Penn State or Ohio State or even Iowa? Yes, but the schedule isn't so weak that if we win 10 games that you can just... One podcast in particular, a Big Ten TED, or one of the Big Ten podcasters, had us playing Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. I'll take it. Just a few short years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, we would have never even thought about this being possible. Also talked about how our physicality is a plus. When you don't have Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa in the fold, our physicality can match up, Oregon too, despite being a high-flying offense. They have big guys and they're physical, so that they can play it both ways. But we can match up against a lot of the teams that we're playing this year. And especially on defense, if we can stay healthy and the guys that we have coming back, the defense may be more important in our ability to win games against teams that are pretty good, but if we can pull them out, the defense may be, and not the offense, and the ability of Ethan Kaliakmanis to make some plays in the passing game, that might determine how it is we wind up. Nonetheless, a lot of analysts and prognosticators and podcasters jumping on the Rutgers bandwagon. And I'm not going to lie, that worries me a little bit. When everybody starts jumping on the bandwagon, I'm like, it's almost like I wish, okay, please don't recognize that we're making strides. I'm almost rather surprised. Nonetheless, good things coming out of Rutgers football. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Stay cool. You want a little something. One of the things I like to sit on the deck and enjoy is tequila soda by Kawama, locally owned by Lindsay Reed and her brother Kersey. Lindsay, two-time Olympic gold medalist with USA women's hockey, and goalie on Harvard's women's hockey team. Everybody enjoy your weekend, and we will see you the next time.